I'm John Crouch. Here's a song I wrote called Goons and Droogs. We are guns and drugs and drugs and guns, haroo, haroo. We are guns and drugs and drugs and guns, haroo, haroo. What are your guns and drugs and drugs and guns? Your countrymen want to ban ya. If you weren't born here, you're kinda queer. Can ya live in freedom, can ya? What is it makes you so afraid, haroo, haroo? What is it makes you so afraid, haroo, haroo? What is it makes you so afraid? Is it people living a different way? Or that they might make you do the same? Can you live in freedom, can ya? Don't like the love that others make, haroo, haroo. Don't like that love that others make, haroo, haroo. Don't like the love that others make. Respect their rights for your own rights' sake. You don't have to bless 'em or bake 'em a cake. Can you live in freedom, can ya? If your neighbor gets to pick your purse, haroo, haroo. If your neighbor gets to pick your purse, haroo, haroo. If your neighbor gets to pick your purse, or govern your life though you were here first, you'll think new neighbor's a fearful curse. Can you live in freedom, can ya? If your business is your own to mind, haroo, haroo, and the state's is narrowly defined, haroo, haroo. Politics reigns within narrow lines. We'll know what's yours and hers and mine. We'll be naturally welcoming and kind. Can you live in freedom, can ya? We separate the church and state, haroo, haroo. Need a decent wall between church and state, haroo, haroo. You need a wall between church and state for neighbors of very different faiths to live together and still feel safe. Can you live in freedom, can ya? Folks help each other, that's charity, haroo, haroo. But to force 'em to is barbarity, haroo, haroo. God won't use force to make us good, so we don't think mere people should. And they'd do it wrong even if they could. Can you live in freedom, can ya? The use of force or violent threats, haroo, haroo, is only right in self-defense, haroo, haroo. It's only right in self-defense or defending others, same difference. Whether done by people or governments, can you live in freedom, can ya? We are guns and drugs and drugs and guns, haroo, haroo. We are guns and drugs and drugs and guns, haroo, haroo. We are guns and drugs and drugs and guns. Your countrymen want to ban ya. If you weren't born here or if you're queer, can you live in freedom, can ya? Because we live in reality, haroo, haroo. We're mouths to feed our words and deeds, haroo, haroo. In everyday reality, you need a right to your property. Without it, you can't live very free. Can you live in freedom, can ya? When citizens unite their funds, haroo, haroo. Incorporate to get things done, haroo, haroo. Like-minded folks by right connect, say who they think we should elect, and spend enough to have an effect. Can you live in freedom, can ya? The Congress takes and gives and takes, ka-ching, ka-ching. So the rich buy in and raise the stakes, ka-ching, ka-ching. Was Congress bought by Abramoff? Let's go to the source, cut the gravy off. The hogs won't crowd at an empty trough. Can you live in freedom, can ya? They say good fences make good neighbors, haroo, haroo. They say good fences make good neighbors, haroo, haroo. They say good fences make good neighbors. Let's each be master of our own labors and our earnings and not be gladiators. Can you live in freedom, can ya? When America comes home again, hurrah, hurrah. When America comes home again, haroo, haroo. When America comes home again to freedom where it all began, we won't use force to root out sin. Can you live in freedom, can ya? One party's led by sneering snobs, haroo, haroo. One party's led by sneering snobs, haroo, haroo. One party's led by sneering snobs and the others become an angry mob. Can't you just get along and do our jobs? Can you live in freedom, can ya? I'm saying to vote libertarian, haroo, haroo. Your vote will note you're libertarian, haroo, haroo. We're here, you'll hear, we're libertarian. Don't care what guns or drugs you're carrying, or what consenting adult you're marrying. Can you live in freedom, can ya? We are guns and drugs and drugs and guns, haroo, haroo. We are guns and drugs and drugs and guns, haroo, haroo. We're your guns and drugs and drugs and guns. Your countrymen want to ban ya. If you weren't born here or you're kinda queer, can you live in freedom, can ya?